Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the topic idea to entity, business and legal structuring essentials. Okay, so through this is the table of content. I'll be going over the webinar overview. I'll be telling you about the Africa Fashion Law, the results that you'll be expecting, and then we'll go into idea to entity, going over the concept of an idea to entity, why we are or why I'm talking about this topic today. I'm going to be going through certain case studies. The first case study one, we have Tope. Tope, who is a brilliant fashion designer, and she has a brilliant idea to start a business in Abuja producing eco friendly, ready to wear dresses that are influenced by, her traditional fabrics, Ashoke. After attending a training program, she chooses a name for her business. She sets up an Instagram page and she begins to promote her brand. I feel a lot of people do this. Like you have an idea and then you just immediately just decide, okay, this is the name of the business. Instagram is a platform to sell. You go on Instagram and you're like, okay, I'm going to just sell on Instagram. Anyway, Tokpai organized pop-ups to sell her products, and she created marketing materials including logos, ads, flyers, roll-up banners. She did her research. Let's not say she did not do her research. She did her research on Instagram, on Google, searching for the name of the brand, the business that she wants to run. And she was like, okay, nobody owns this business. And then she just opened her Instagram page and she believes she is the owner of that business because she didn't see it on Google, she didn't see it on Instagram, she didn't see it on Twitter, she didn't see it on Facebook. So she decided, okay, I'm just going to open it on Instagram. So she assumed that finding no similar name on Instagram meant that she had ownership of the business name. 2 years later, Topper realizes that she needs formal documentation because she needs to get grants in order to buy machines, in order to open a new store or to open her first store. She wants to get investment, she wants to get grants. And she told these people, the investors, that I've been in business for 2 years, and they're asking, okay, where's your documentation, your business registration that you were registered the year you said you began business? Apart from that, where is your financial documentation to say that you have been selling over the years and that you've made profit or that you've invested capital? Where are the documentation? And then she wants to export her design, she wants to export her work. And then she's being asked, okay, where is your proof of ownership that you own this brand? Where's your proof for your documentations for your certifications in order to export? And she does not have any of these documents, none of the documents. Okay, that is case study one. We see Tope, you know she is industrious, she has an idea. And so next off, we're going to the next case study. We have someone here. Shemu had an idea to start a leather, shoe and bag company and pursued it. He first acquired the necessary skills, same with Tope. Tope acquired the necessary skills. Then he conducted his detailed market research. With insight from his research, he crafted a robust business plan. Then he worked with a lawyer, he registered his company, he secured his trademark, he obtained a tax identification number, and set up a business bank account to manage his finances effectively. Sheon developed comprehensive standard operating procedures to ensure efficient operations. He had meticulous financial documents, and eventually, in the same 2 years mark that Tola had, he wanted to seek for investment, he wanted to expand his business, but Sheung had documentations to prove that he owns the business, that he has been running the business for 2 years, and like he primarily had all the documents that he needed. So this is just showing you two different scenarios, two businesses that started in 2 years. Like in a 2 year span, both businesses want to get investment, but one is limited because the business, that's the ready to wear business by Tokwe, she didn't, you know, move the right way through idea to entity. She had the idea and she primarily moved into just running the business without establishing the entity that makes the business, or that is the platform for the business to run. Moving on to the next slide. So the leather or the ready to wear business, which of the two business started effectively, the ready to wear business or the leather business? I would like you guys to, really think in depth about this case study. Think about where you are as a business. If you have started like the ready to wear business, which is Topwear's business, or if you started like the leather business, which is Sean's business. Okay, so just a brief introduction. I've not introduced myself and I've not introduced the Africa Fashion Law, so I'm just going to be doing that quickly. So, the Africa Fashion Law Services is dedicated to providing legal and business support for the advancement of fashion businesses in Africa. We go beyond traditional legal services. We are your strategic partner, primarily invested in the success of our clients. Hi everyone, my name is Annie Oti and I'm the founder of the Africa Fashion Door. I'm a lawyer. Generally, my expertise will be shown through this conversation and through the ideas and the solutions that I would provide for you all through this webinar. So, by actively being a part of this webinar, you gain the following benefits: insights on how to go from idea to a business entity. You would have your business structuring strategies and considerations, and the legal framework and requirements for setting up a business. Yeah, fashion business, but generally a business. Because it always starts first off from the idea. And so, what an idea is. An idea generally is a concept, a thought that has the potential to be developed into a product, a service, or a solution. It is often originated, by you've identified, okay, you can make clothes, and then you see some people want to buy clothes, and then you're like, okay, a way to improve existing process. That is the concept of an idea. That is what an idea is. I'm sure everybody knows what an idea is, but I'm just ensuring I break it all down. An entity, when I say an entity, creating an idea to an entity is an organization, a business structure that is formed and registered under the law to conduct business activities. So, are an individual, let's just come from a family perspective. As an individual, you have a child. Your child is a separate entity from you. Your child has a name, would have an identification, a national identification number. If you want to travel out with the child would have a passport. The child can have a bank account. So that's the same with a business. A business is an entity. It has to be a separate being from you. So it's an organization or business structure that is formed and registered under the law to conduct business activities. Entities are primarily recognized as having a separate legal existence of their owner. So anybody here that has an idea and you're like, okay, I have this fantastic idea, it's going to be a revolutionary idea. That idea, if you want to do it right, if you want to become like the Amazon, the Facebook of this, it has to be a separate entity from you. So a separate legal existence from their owner, providing certain legal protections and benefits. So now you have a new idea. There's an excitement that comes with having an idea. Like it's like, okay, I'm about to make some money. I feel that's the feeling. You get an idea and you're like, I'm about to make some good money. Or you have an idea and you're like, oh, I'm about to change the world. There's an excitement that comes with innovation, especially when you're like an innovator or you're someone who wants to start a business. Okay, and then you have the excitement, and next thing you're thinking, okay, I'm just going to start so that I can make some money. It doesn't work like that. I would say you need to calm down and strategize. We're going to look at steps to take when you have an idea. The steps to take. First off, you need to validate your idea. Idea validation. Having an idea is fantastic, but you need to determine if there is a market for it. So you need to conduct your market research. And your market research is something that has to be done in depthly in order for you to determine, okay, if I'm providing a solution for children, target markets, where are they primarily located? How much can their parents spend in a month on outfits? The it has to be done in depthly. The idea of the market research, it has to be done in depthly. Then you need to also identify your unique value proposition, because there's this thing about having an idea. When you have like an idea that you think is novel, distinctive, you feel that you're the only one. I don't know, I've been there. Like, I'm thinking about something, I'm like, oh my god, this is revolutionary. The world has not seen this type of idea before. Then I start my research and I see that, oh my god, there are like several businesses, several concepts all across the world, or maybe you might not see in your region. Maybe you're in Lagos, you might see the idea maybe in Delta, you might see it in Abuja, you might just see it anywhere else, and you're wondering, like, okay, I thought this idea was particular to me. And that is why you need to have a unique value proposition, which differentiates your business from your, like, other businesses that are in existence. Then next off, you need to develop a business plan. So a business plan is primarily an overview of the business idea. So you see, you've not launched, or you've not gone to Instagram to tell the world that, oh, I have a business, or no. You're still, it's a step by step. You have the idea, you validated your idea. Next off, you need to develop a business plan. So a business plan would have your executive summary, it would have your financial plan, it would have your, like, it would have different things, your objectives, your mission, and your vision. It goes in depth. At this point, you're developing a pitch deck, right? Because you're developing a pitch deck not because you have investors, on the horizon, but you intend to get investors. You intend to get investment eventually. So you're developing an overview of the business idea through a business plan, and then you're developing a pitch deck. Then, after you develop a business plan, the next step is to ensure that everything legally is done. Your legal and administrative setup, you need to choose a business structure. And choosing a business structure is dependent on a number of factors. You're not just meant to go and just be like, okay, I want to register a business name, or I want to go and register a company because they say it's good to register a company. You need to consider certain things like your capital rich. Like, how much do you have initially to start? If you don't have like a lot of money initially to start, you can start with a business name. Then eventually, years down the line, you can go into having an LTD. But if you have like a lot of money, you can decide, okay, I'm going to register here in Nigeria, I'm going to register in the US, I'm going to register in the UK, I'm going to register all over the world, because registration of businesses is jurisdictional. It's not like once you register in Nigeria, that does not mean you're registered in um, Ghana or in every other country. So if you want to open a business in every other country, you have to register there. So structuring is like, okay, I'm either starting with a business name, or I'm starting with an LTD or a partnership. But then you need to understand why you are choosing the business structure that you're choosing. You just don't make a decision on the structure just because it has to be something that is quite, I would say, strategic. Next off, after you choose a business structure, you register your business. And next, you obtain the necessary permits or licenses for different industries, or for different businesses, their licenses. Even in the leather sector, like maybe you want to buy leather in a different way, like there are different licenses. You just have to know what works for your business. Why I did not like really specify is because different permits, different licenses work for different businesses. You need to get your tax ID. Usually, upon registering your business, you will get your tax ID. Then you need to protect your IP. And your IP can be through, agreements in case you want to have a partner. So you're like, okay, I want to start this business, or I have this idea, but I want to have a partner in this business. You need to ensure that the IP, or you have a memorandum of understanding to discuss the concept with your partner, or you need to ensure that there's a partnership agreement. You need to ensure that there's a co-founders agreement. If it's like a founder co-founder relationship, if you're getting like an investor immediately, you need to ensure that there's an investment agreement. So you need to have the legal and administrative setup. You don't just run into the business and like, okay, I'm just going to go online. No. Next up, you need to develop the brand identity. So what's the brand identity? You're talking about your logo, your letterhead, your brand description, your brand color, letters. You need to ensure that you develop this. Then you develop your branding material. But before then, let me go before you develop all these branding materials, you need to ensure that what you are saying is your brand, which is your logo and the name of your business. You need to ensure that it's trademarked, because having your business registered does not necessarily protect your brand. And you can have your business registered as, let me say, um happy bags or something, and then you go to register your trademark under the class for bags or leather, and then you see that happy bags is registered already, and then you're in some sort of a conundrum, and you're like, okay, what can I do at this point? So you need to protect your brand identity by registering a trademark. Then you develop your branding materials, like your logo, your branded bags and all. But you need to know that, okay, maybe this is the name. After you've registered your business, this is the name. You take it to the trademark. This is the logo and the name that you want to register, or you have both, searched simultaneously. And why I'm talking about brand identity is because fashion businesses, leather, clothes, everything most times in the creative industry is brand based. A lot of businesses are brand based. There is the idea and the concept of a brand is that people are want to buy into the brand perception, the brand equity. So brand equity is a strong thing that businesses build over time. So you might start today with an idea. That does not mean your brand equity would not grow over the years. So your brand equity might be on a 0% when the year you start, and in year five it's on a 60%. Your name out on Instagram, all those aesthetics that you're doing is branding. You're building perception. People are buying into your brand. People are liking your brand as you're investing in all those things. The perception, if you endorse or if you endorse or get an ambassador or one of all these influencers to promote your work, people are buying into, you're investing into your brand equity, and it is growing. And if you don't have it protected legally, there will be a problem there. So you have an idea. After idea validation, after developing a business plan, after the legal and administrative setup, you need to develop the brand identity. Then next up, you need to develop the product or service. Created this amazing product, everybody should come and buy. You just created like one product, and you've not tested the product. You've not, tried to see if you can review it to see maybe there's a chance to improve on it. And the idea of prototyping, like, creating a prototype to determine the quality, to determine the standard, to determine if there's a way to improve on this product. So for businesses or people that are here that have an idea, don't just jump into developing a product and pushing it out into the market. Develop a prototype first off. Test it depending on if it's a product, a service, if it's a specific solution. Test it, review it. In the review, you need to look at refinements. Okay, you need to look at refinement. So, like, okay, how can you improve on it based off of what people have said? And okay, so now you've ensured that you have a great product, you've done your brand identity, you've protected your brand, you've validated your idea, certain aspect of your design that can grant your product, not your, because protection for fashion is different. So, like, you're getting protection for maybe bits and bits of elements in your design. Moving on, you need to plan the business funding. But before you plan the business funding, you need to get your business account. So, since you've gotten your business registered and everything, it will not be hard to get your business account number. So next off, you can now seek investment. And seeking investment here will be easy. maybe it might not be so easy, but it will be easy in the sense that you have everything, you validated your idea. So if an investor is asking you one plus one in your business, you're saying two, and you're saying it with full confidence, you're not shaking, you're like, it is two. If they're asking you about your business plan or your pitch deck, you're saying, I've done it, or your IP is protected, your prototype, you've done it. And then, then you can seek investment. And seeking investments, it's not something that might happen immediate. You can start with bootstrapping. You can seek investors. Bootstrapping is like when you or your family invest. So it's even like you can or you can even get loans or grants. There are like several opportunities for loans or grants. Crowdfunding is like when you create you create a platform to sell the idea of the business. Like, okay, you have a product and you're like, people should pay for the product ahead of time. That's like pre-order, and they will get their products, and then you're using the money to, like, create the product and then sell out like that. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. So after you've done all this, you've gotten your investment, then you do your soft launch. You launch first. The soft launch is like you still testing the market. Then you do your official launch. The soft launch is like an avenue to improve. You do your official launch, you monitor, you evaluate your products, then you scale. And as you run your business, eventually the idea of the entity, you make continuous improvement, and this involves you staying agile. And what does it mean to stay agile? You need to be prepared to move, to adjust, because the world is changing. We can only make assumptions of what might be, but we don't really know, and we're not for certain of what it would be. So as the world changes, your business needs to evolve with the world. So you need to understand where your business is going, the direction in which your business is going. Fashion is evolving differently. Like, people are buying into different things at different points. So your business needs to be able to move with the business models. And the interesting thing is that we look at all these brands, high brands and all, and what a lot of businesses don't understand is that these brands know the next trend because they've invested into maybe research, they've invested into you know things that are studying the markets to determine what color would go. So we're seeing a lot of light blue, we're seeing a lot of nude in women's fashion, and that is because there's a lot of conversation online around is it the whole feminine women. There's a lot of conversation around that. So fashion is, pivoting towards that direction to research. So businesses, is important that you research. You need to also innovate. This brings me to the almost the end of my session. But before that, I'll just talk about the SME business and legal consultation that the Africa Fashion Law provides. So if you're starting up your business, you have an idea, and like, based off of everything that we've discussed now, you're still wondering, how can I start up? What can I do? You can speak to us. We have an SME business and legal consultation for businesses, and the idea is that station will be about your business. We're helping your business go from idea validation, you know, to where you want to be. Yeah, I feel this brings me to the end of this webinar. If there are no questions, I'll say thank you all for attending. And we have like several other webinars that will be coming up as the months or the year goes by. So like August, September, October, we have more webinars. So please ensure to join in. Thank you all for being a part of the webinar. Right.